Bernadette had apparently wanted to be in charge of
Am I recording? Okay, yeah, I am.
what
All
he
right.
did, where he went, and especially who
Hi
he
out
spoke
there,
to.
social media land. I am coming to you tonight because I have some things that I need to get off my chest. I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest, but I'm just going to, get a little bit of something off my chest tonight. Now, I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm sure that everybody knows about the little 5-year-old girl that is missing here. As we are trying to keep up with what the authorities and law enforcement is saying here, the young lady's, the little girl's mother, Brianna Williams, she has overdosed, and now she is in an a medically induced coma here in one of the hospitals down here. The lady and the little girl is from Alabama. Brianna is out here. She's in the Navy. I want to think she's been here for about 4 years, I think. Anyway, they have found remains of a little girl in Alabama. We are not sure if the remains is the little girl's. They are still doing forensic testing to find out if the remains belong to Taylor Rose Williams. Now, I am doing this because I'm an avid believer, hands up to the Lord. Y'all see my hands up. I'm an avid believer in spanking children. I'm not an avid believer in abusing, seriously hurting, and darn near killing these children. It is really, really upsetting me that there are so many parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, babysitters, friends, cousins that are killing these young children out here. I will say this. These kids out here nowadays got some slick mouths, but you can't kill them because their mouth wouldn't be slick if they got popped in as soon as they got slick. Their mouth wouldn't be slick if they wasn't watching their parents run around here. Some of them in their 30s acting like they're in their teens. Some of them in their 50s acting like they're in their tweens. So we wouldn't have that problem if these children were raised up properly and saw some better role models out here. So this is my theory on this situation. Anybody that knows me know I love crime shows, and I am constantly looking at crime shows. Right now I'm watching Snapped. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm watching Snapped. When I heard about the situation, this is my opinion on it. I had already said that the young lady, Brianna Williams, was the cause of it. I hated to say it, but when I heard that this young lady was missing, I already knew that that girl had killed a daughter. That was off top. Second of all, when they said that she moved from the South Side area and into our Brentwood area, and those of you guys that are not from here, the South Side area, the apartment complex that she moved from was a very, very nice apartment complex. She moved from there to Brentwood, which is it's not a really good area to live in. The home that she stayed in was probably about as big as the apartment that she moved out of. And you don't find too many military that move over in that area. So when, just listening to all of the stuff that they were saying, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I said she killed a little girl there on the South Side in the apartment that she was staying in. She took the little girl back to Alabama and buried her remains, and then she moved over there in that house. And I'm just saying that's just my speculation. That's just my opinion. It's not fact. But that's what I was thinking. So they finally stopped looking over in that area. I mean, they're still looking in that area, of course, but they started looking a little bit further to Alabama, where the little girl and her mom is from, and they did find remains. They're still not sure if it's Taylor's remains or not. Just to think about this situation has upset me. And now, once they found the remains, Brianna decides that she wants to overdose. She wants to take the easy way out. That right there is a red flag that she had something to do with the disappearance of her daughter. And me personally, and I don't care who's looking at it, I, want to go to the hospital. I wanted to punch her in her mouth while she was up and was able to fight back. But I said, well, since she didn't overdose and they got her in a coma, I might as well go in there and punch her mouth so when she do wake up, she try to figure out why her lips swole up. But anyway, and I'll be there to let her know I did it. Yep, I did it. Somebody need to start holding these adults accountable for what is going on with these children. It is ridiculous. You have some of them that are getting away with it. You have some of them that's doing, 3, 5, or 10 years. I think anything that's done to a child, especially killing them, they should spend the rest of their life in jail. No matter of fact, not even that. I'm not big on the death penalty, but when it needs to be used, I do think that any harm done to a child, especially to the point where they have murdered their children, they need to bring that electric chair back, sit them suckers in it, strap them down, and let them fry. And that's just the way I feel about it. These kids did not ask to be brought here, and I'm just going to give, just to kind of throw this out there. And excuse me, I'm sure my daughter's probably going to see this, but Lana was a crying baby. Lana was a crying baby. I tell anybody, if I didn't strangle her to death, any child should be able to live. Lana was a crying child. But I would never do anything to my children. My daughters get on my nerves. Right now, to this day, they get on my nerves, but I would never do anything to hurt them. And my daughters even know they make me sick, but I can't even stand to see my children cry, even grown. I don't understand how people can go and actually do something to harm their children and watch them in pain, and they're all right with that. I don't understand how they do that, but I guess everybody's not me. But again, getting back to my point, these children didn't ask to be here. We do what we do, and there they are. So the next step is you done got yourself in a mess. You done got yourself knocked up. So your next step is to take care of your children. And if you feel like that you are not the one to take care of these children, you don't think that you can deal with the crying and all that comes with being a parent, then there's a lot of men and women out here that will love and take care of your children. And I think this needs to be expressed a lot. If you cannot deal with your children, put them up for adoption and let somebody that will love your kids and take care of your children properly and let them have a nurturing, good life. All because we jumped up and made the mistake of getting ourselves pregnant. Then we want to take it out on the children because we can't deal with them crying, or we can't deal with, or we want to go out all weekend and hang all out. I'm one of them. I went out a lot. My mom and my grandparents and my aunt and them and my kid's godmother, they helped me out. I was able to still have fun. My mama knew I was young when I had my kids. And I went out and I hung out with my friends. But before I even stepped foot into a club, I spent extremely a lot of time with my children to let them know that, hey, mama got a life, but mama makes sure that she take care of her children and make sure that she spends time with her kids. And at a young age, when everybody else was out clubbing and having a good time, I said, you know what, it's time for me to stop going out to the clubs. My kids was getting a little bit older, and it's time for me to start really being there and paying attention to and spending time with them, and that's what I did. Children don't stop anything, they just slow it down. If you know what you're doing and you know how to handle your business. And that's the thing. A lot of these females, now that we got these little cell phones, they can't sit down and spend no time with their kids because they got the cell phone in their face. Let me tell you what you need to do, and this is just some advice coming from Portia. Okay? Handle your children. Get your household straightened out. Whatever's on social media is going to still be on social media when you get your kids bathing in the bed for the night and you can finally have your peace and your time to yourself. Because that's what I did. I worked, picked my kids up from school. I came home, I cooked, cleaned up, got them ready for the next day. After 9 o'clock, it was my time. Kids was in the bed, fed and in the bed, resting for the next day. So that's just some advice, something for y'all to do. Put your phones down, put your tablets down, and get from out of the computers and take care of your children. Okay, that's what we need to do. Stop getting mad because you want to watch something on YouTube and your children start crying. Because guess what you can do? Get off YouTube, find out where you can go back in and watch it and handle your kids. Okay?